Back on the last carving video of this series, because we're just about done with this guy. I went to my tool bag and got a smaller V-tool, and so this is going to allow us to add some texture to the hair, and we're just going to randomly assign some hair marks in here. Don't make them all the same size, don't make them all go in exactly the same direction, overlap a few. Some people say you need to do this with a knife, but you know, unless you're very experienced with a knife, sometimes you can make a lot of mistakes over here that you got to clean up over here and back and forth, and pretty soon you don't have much hair left, and then it ends up being bald guy, whether you wanted it to be that way or not. Maybe he's naturally bald, maybe he's shaved, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, we're going to randomly just make some cuts in here in the hair, tapering them up here towards the temple, where they're going to be a little more vertical than they were down here. We'll do that on the back. I took the liberty of cutting in his hair in the back behind his head, and that allowed me the chance to just kind of shape it back there. We're going to do this with his hair, and I'll show you a neat little trick for getting rid of this rough line across. For instance, if you go straight in and just at every one of those lines just kind of pick out a little bit, makes it look like the hair is a little more uneven, like it would be if your member of your family or somebody you know was almost bald. Right there at that edge, it's not very clean. Sometimes you have random scattered hair. We'll do it at the bottom here. We'll go straight in, pick that out, and then what makes it stand out is if we come back with a knife and remove that chip right there, then you can go right in here and take out a chip there, take out a chip there. We'll do the same thing at the top of the head. We'll make that big chip, and then we'll just pick in here with the tip of our knife. We can make some random cuts in here that just picks them out and makes them look a little more uneven. Hopefully you can pick that up right in there. And you can go up under it and undercut it. Those little chips come out, and it looks like this fella have a whole lot of hair in there. Okay, I'm going to round. See how that head's not really rounded that way? I'm going to round a little bit more. We've got his eyebrows. We'll take that V-tool again, and we'll just make those random cuts in here, a little bit deeper in some spots, a little bit shallower. You are approximating hair. You're not carving every individual hair. You're just approximating it. You're giving it the approximate shape, direction, and look of a man's hair. I don't like the way this hair is almost overlapping his ear. So I'm going to come back in here and reshape that ear and that area around it. Okay. I like to take out a little chip right here at the very front of the ear. It gives you the impression that it's separated from the head when you do that. It gives it a little bit of shape right there. I like another one right here. Simple 3-cut mechanism. Looks like that earlobe is separated a little bit from the head. And then we're going to take that V-tool again, and we're going to go around the outside of the ear. Just like that. We'll follow that back around somewhere down to here. And take that sliver out. Looks like he's got an outside ridge. Looks like I went a little bit flat and crooked. I also want to give it some look like a wind flap back in there, so all I'm going to do is take my gouge and just make an indentation in there. Doesn't have to be very deep. You can see that indentation right there. I want to take a chip off above it and a chip off below it. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. You can do this with a V-tool. You can do it with a straight cut. You can even do it with the gouge. You can go in here and gouge that out and take that part out just like that. There's a lot of different ways to get that wind flap, as some carvers call it, carved into that ear. Okay? We'll take that V-tool, we'll go across and make just a couple random cuts in here for the bag on his eye. We're going to make a couple of twinkle lines out here on the outside of his eye, just to give it that little twinkle. You know how when you scrunch your eyeball up, you have these lines out here. We'll make some of these cuts in here like we talked about doing on the hair, right up under here. And then as we go in here, we can make random cuts where the hair comes into the face, and it makes it look like that sideburn is real hair, not just a straight line that we've cut in there. Short of cutting down the letter opener part, I think this fella's just about done. Usually when I'm done, I take a brush like this, and doesn't cost very much for these brushes, $2 or $3, and I'm just going to go all over my carving and remove any of the loose things that I can get off of there. A couple, 2 or 3 seconds over that, and I've gotten him looking okay. So that's the carving, other than shaping this, and you're going to shape that to have a shape where it has a high point in the middle and tapers away that way. Here's another one right here, and another one, and I could show you all kinds of those. Be careful on that because it'll break off on you, it gets real thin, but you're basically making this guy look like these other guys. Okay, next couple of videos we'll paint this fella and have a little bit of fun with him and get him done. I'm going to go off camera and carve this because I don't think you want to sit here and watch me carve a lot of wood off of here. You can do that on your own. Just make sure you're following the lines that I gave you. It is higher in the middle than it is in the end. So on the sides it kind of tapers away. That allows you to get that little point up under the edge of the envelope. And then use that sharp edge back here to open that envelope, and we'll do the same thing with this guy. See you on the next video.